Man, take me because we moved a little bit past the Crooked Letterz before I wanted to get past it because man.
Oh, so I didn't answer your question.
No.
It's all right,
No. We got that's cool, but can you just talk about because I mean, well, shit's so much shit to talk about. We gonna be here 4 hours if I really run through this shit the way I want to. But on Crooked Letterz, can you talk about? Because I read about in Julie Beverly's book about how y'all went to Pimp House in the A. You know what I'm saying? And he did the rock box interpolation and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right. So
that whole experience.
So it's crazy because the real truth is that I remember telling Brad, who was Kamikaze, my rap partner in Crooked Letterz. I remember we recorded the 3 demo songs, and I said, man, send that shit to the source. And he was like, man, them motherfuckers ain't checking for us. I said, man, send them motherfucking shit, because he had a regular office job. So he used to be in that bitch tearing up their Xerox machine and sending shit out in FedEx and all that kind of shit. And I was like, bro, fuck what you talking about. Just send the shit, bro. Like, it ain't nothing but you doing the shit for free anyway, bro. Just send it. And he ended up sending it to the source, and we ended up getting unsigned hype in the source, bro. And so, like, from there, you know, we ended up getting a deal in L.A. That deal ended up closing, and the girl who worked, the publicist there, her name is Zenobia. Damn, I usually don't remember shit. I remember that. Her name was Zenobia. Zenobia went to Penalty Records, and she took our demo with us, and we ended up getting signed to Penalty. But the problem was, we were a quasi-street group with knowledge of self, hip-hop, but still Southern. Bro, they ain't know what the fuck.
They ain't know how to put it together.
They ain't know what the fuck to do with us, bro. You know what I'm saying? So they shelved us. I moved to New York homeless. I had never been to New York in my life. At the time, I was dealing with one of the finest motherfuckers in the world. She was half black, half Puerto Rican. She looked just like Aaliyah. And
she gonna love this when she see it. if she just so happened to come across
her baby daddy ain't gonna like it, cause it's funny. It's funny. Her baby daddy name is Lavelle, and that's my real name. And he was a little bit chubby in the face, and they call him Big Face, and that was the name of my album. I mean my old record label. But I thought that I could. She stayed in Trenton, New Jersey, and I thought that I could catch the train from her house to New York and go back and forth at least every week. And come to find out, I have a $350 in my pocket, and the one-way ticket was almost half of that. So I had, her mom loved me so much from when we dated and when I was in grad school. And so she let me stay there. I took the one way and I never came back. I ended up sleeping on Wendy Day's floor.
No shit.
And I went to Penalty every day and stood outside in front of Penalty, my big ass. So every day Neil Levine came to work, I was standing there. And I said, I'm gonna be here every day until you, because they had shelved our album. I said, I'm gonna sit here every day, all day, until you put my album out. And I guess he got tired of that big, tall, black motherfucker up in his office on his ass every day. And they didn't ship but like 20,000. We sold 17.5, and he got me out that office. You know what I'm saying? Something that's really important to me that I don't say enough. Noriega actually bought the first David Banner beat that anybody's ever bought in history for his little brother's group. And so Crooked Letterz came out. They wouldn't shoot a video. Nori actually, I don't know if you remember that $1 million video that Nori shot. Nori actually told Neil Levine, get them boys $100,000, let them shoot a video. Because Nori was one of the people, him and Cypher Sound were 2 New York cats who wasn't fronting about liking the South. Like, Nori loved Southern music. And he wanted to see us succeed. He said, I'll give you $100,000, just shoot the fucking video. Because remember, he was on the Firewater song.
Right.
And Neil Levine wouldn't even do it.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So we ended up pushing it out. I ended up coming back home, starting my own label, man, and everything just took off from there.
So when you came back home, did your partner decide to kind of just, go stay working and get out of the business? Or like how did it come to the point to where you were a solo at?
No, man, I don't really like to talk about that aspect of it because some things that we have to be men enough and honorable enough. I wouldn't want to tell my side unless he was here, because he should be able to defend himself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just say that, you know, I was producing and I was doing, you know, setting up the structures for the songs, and stuff wasn't moving like I wanted it to move. And I realized that if I went by myself, then I wouldn't have to wait, because he had kids. He had responsibilities that I didn't have. I could go at a drop of a dime.
I've been in situations like that. I know exactly what
all I needed was enough money to get to the next gas station, because I used to sell my CDs at each gas station in order to get gas to get where I was going. And so I realized that, and that's one of the reasons why rap is the way that it is now, and you don't have as many groups. Because if you can move and make stuff happen and you don't have no extra weight, then you the only one that you got to worry about. And then you could take all the responsibility of anybody else away by you doing what you have to do.
Yeah. Okay, so we still breezed over this shit. I don't know how, man.
Well, what answer you looking at? Ask directly.
Because we were talking about the Pimp C thing. We talked about Crooked Letterz, but we were talking about how you ended up going to Pimp C, you know, with the Pimp, how you ended up getting to the opportunity to do it.
Oh, Neil Levine asked us when we had the budget. Thank you. Neil Levine had asked us, like, who we wanted on the album. And it was all hands down, like UGK, Pimp C. At the time, I think that's when Cash Money was starting to really move up independently. So we gave him this list, and they got in contact, found Pimp C some kind of way. We went to his house, and it's funny. I have to say this, and I'm saying this for you, Lee. I'm a really, really big hip hop head. You know what I'm saying? It ain't much that I don't know about music. I mean, all hip hop music all over the world.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I need to do a little bit better with the music after I got on, because I had to focus on me. But Pimp C used that rock box from Run DMC. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, somebody just used that sample. Pimp C said, man, is that shit jamming, man? I said, yeah, it's jamming. Fuck that shit, man. My shit jamming, man. You better go with this shit. Get the shit that's jamming, man. And that was the reason why, you know what I mean? When Pimp C said, fuck that shit. If your shit more jamming, then, because I never forget this, man. I never ever talked about this. Pimp had gave me permission to do the murder beat over again. But if I can't at least match the energy, I'm not gonna disrespect history, man. I'm gonna leave that shit alone. Like, cause to me, and I've been saying this, like, Bun B verse on Murder may be one of the best verses of all time of any fucking genre of music. You know, so if somebody, it ain't gotta be me, can't get on there and match that motherfucking energy, it's a blessing, because I actually thought about it again, because I met N.O. Joe at the Verses. And people don't know this, Pimp told me this, is that Pimp did the beat, but the drums wasn't smacking. Mm-hmm. So he sent the beat to N.O. Joe. N.O. Joe did those drums. So I was like, yo, I could redo the beat and get N.O. Joe to do the drums again, but still, if I couldn't complete it. But anyway, Pimp, man, we stayed in his house. He showed us love. I remember giving Pimp The Art of War and telling him, bro, you probably should check this out. And then, you know, we went on, and when I ended up meeting Pimp later, I said, man, did you read that book? He's like, nah, man, I ain't read it that time, man. Like, I probably would have read it now, man, but nah, I didn't. And he fed us, man. We stayed in the house. We did it at his house, recorded everything. You know, took us over Too Short House. You know what I'm saying? And that was it.
Donnie Houston.